episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and these are my co hosts.
Queen and Christina.
And tonight we are going to get into can a broken can broken trust be repaired in your relationship? Now, we're not just talking about a relationship between a man and a woman, a couple. We're talking about any relationship, whether it be mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter. Like there's all types of broken relationships. So we're gonna get into a little bit about how to repair it, and hopefully it's not um, beyond repair.
Right.
So we're gonna keep hope alive.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start off with our first Dear Jen letter. Dear Jen, I never thought I'd be in this position, but here I am, lost and unsure of what to do. My partner betrayed my trust in a way that I never saw coming. It wasn't just a small lie, it was something that made me question everything that we've built together. They say that they're sorry, they're willing to do anything to fix it, and I can see the remorse in their eyes. But I don't know if I can ever look at them the same way again. I love them, Jen. I really do. But every time I try to move forward, my mind replays the betrayal like a never ending loop. I don't want to hold on to resentment, but I also don't want to be naive. Is trust something that can truly be rebuilt, or am I setting myself up for more pain? Sincerely, trying to heal but terrified. Well, I've been there, so I can kind of relate. First, just acknowledging um, how heavy it must feel for you. Betrayal, it shakes the foundation of any relationship. Doesn't matter who it is. The fact that you're reaching out for understanding and that you want to obviously fix it, that's a big step.
Mm-hmm.
And it also tells me that part of you still want to believe in the relationship. But let's be real, trust isn't something that can be easily restored.
Right.
You know, it's easy to say I'm sorry, but if their behavior is not changed, they still doing the same thing. That's telling you right there that it's just words. It don't mean
They
nothing.
didn't mean what they said.
Exactly. So let's talk about it. What do you think? You think
I
it's easily be
definitely,
done?
well, no, not easily, but I definitely think that it can be repaired as long as both parties are willing to put in the work because on this person's side, they're going to have to still continue to, you can't, if you're going to forgive that person, for whatever happened, whatever they did, whatever they said, you're going to have to leave that in the past. Nobody's saying forget it, but you can't keep throwing that up, in that person's face. So, it's going to take some work, to be able to not bring that up, every time it pop up in your head, because I know it's gonna keep replaying in your head, like you said. It's gonna do that for a while until y'all get to that space to where you do feel comfortable and you have put that trust back into place. So it's definitely gonna take work on both parties because on the other end, that person is gonna have to try to make you forget about it. Like I know that sounds crazy, but like, yeah, I did it. Yes, they're gonna have to take accountability for it if you make them. Because if you don't make them, they won't. So some people put the blame, on the other person and all that good stuff. But if it's somebody that really wants to be forgiven, or somebody that really wants to restore the relationship, they're gonna be willing to do whatever it takes. They're gonna put in whatever kind of work, whatever their partner needs. And I feel like that's very important as well, just to be able to communicate that with your partner. Once the betrayal does happen, let your partner know exactly how you feel, how it made you feel, what are the things that they can do to make you not feel that way, to make you feel a little bit more secure, a little bit more comfortable, and make them a little bit more trustworthy. If it's checking in with you, we don't know what the actual betrayal situation is, but in my guess, if it's cheating, we'll just use that as an example. If it's just checking in throughout the day, when they're, when they were cheating, it was just, you see them in the morning and you see them at night. Just taking the actual steps that your partner needs you to take, for them to be comfortable and back satisfied, to be able to repair that trust. So definitely, I do think it's repairable, but only if both of you want it and both of you are willing to put in the work. And the nature of the relationship, like how long did she say? She didn't say how long they had been together, did she?
No, she said it was a small lie. It wasn't just a small lie, and it made her question everything they built.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't exactly say how long.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like if it's been a long time, y'all been together for a long time, then a little lie, you can kind of forgive that a little bit. Let that person know how you feel about it. And most of the time the person gonna come clean about whatever it is, and y'all get past that. They know, okay, she don't play, so I can't do that one no more, or I can't do that with this one. So, just that communication, just letting that partner know, exactly what it is and how it made you feel. That's the only way I feel like, you guys are going to be able to move on from that, is if you let him know how you feel about that, and he be able to acknowledge how you feel and let you know, that that's not something or a space that he wants to place you in. He don't want you to be in that space. And you'll know, if he really cares, or, you'll see it in his actions as well, if he's taking those steps, to make you be able to trust him more, versus the latter.
Yeah, all of the above sounds great as well. I was just thinking about, as humans, a lot of times we do fail one another, and so a lot of times we have high expectations, of each other, and we're not looking for each other to betray us in any way, and a lot of times we think, oh, I love this person so much, or they love me so much, and they wouldn't dare do a betrayal. And so when it does happen, of course, it's very shocking, very shocking, and it's something that traumatizes you so much so that you feel like you can't go on until you deal with the situation. But then you have to ask yourself, how do you want to deal with the situation? Or you want to be very ratchet dealing with the situation? Because we can't make people
behave like we want them to.
That's right. We can't make them, and they're not going to behave, because we're two different people,
Right.
And so what might be devastating to me may not be devastating to the other person,
Right.
And so we have to keep that kind of stuff in mind, and a lot of times things do happen in our lives. It don't mean that we set out to have those things done, it's just that a lot of times, if you think about it, we have to stop pushing how we feel on our partner or family member, because they don't all the time feel the same way,
Right.
And so you have to get clarity, try to get some type of clarity from the jump of what you would like to see happen in the relationship, and the things that that push you over the edge, and but first of all, as I stated, before, we can't put our all into an individual because we bound to let them down ourselves.
Right.
And so we want to, not that you're giving them a pass to do all these things, but we still got to consider ourselves. If it was us, how would we want that person to handle the situation? So, and then it also matters a lot, like who the person is that has done this deed, because sometimes the very child that you birth can do some awful things to
Right.
you, and you're not looking at them to that looking for them to make those type of mistakes, but sometimes they do.
Right.
And you got to know know how to handle. Do I put my child out? Do I not speak to them anymore? How do I handle that? With my child, because they're gonna always be your child.
Right.
If it's your mama, your brother, or sister, so whoever the person is, you still gonna have to deal with them, different ways. So, it's a lot of things that we can turn over and over and over in our head and talk about, but you gotta have a forgiving heart, and that's gonna play key in everything. Of having a forgiving heart. Maybe you might not stay with that person, but you gotta have a forgiving heart, because you don't know what kind of life that you're gonna lead down the road, and you're gonna be looking for somebody to have an understanding heart.
Right.
Well, I'll say if moving forward means you constantly looking over your shoulder, feeling anxious, or doubting their every move or your own every move, then maybe you're not really thinking about really healing. You just existed in a situation. Maybe it might be just time to let it go. If it's something so big and it's disturbing your peace day in and day out, maybe the best thing for you is let it go. And I'm not telling you to leave your significant other because they lied, but look at the big picture. Are you stressing, or what is it costing in the long run? If it's something that you just feel like you just can't get over, then what's the point of staying there in this situation? Go find your peace. And I understand when you say it makes you think that everything else in your life is a lie, or since you've been with that person. Because it will make you feel like that when somebody betray you. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's just easier just to tell the truth. I mean, stop with the lies. Like, you hurting so many people. And you said something about, like, if it's your child. I remember when, we as parents, we make all kind of mistakes. Because we don't know, and we really don't know how we're going to react in a situation until that situation happens.
Right.
I remember my oldest, hopefully he ain't watching this, but if he is, it is what it is. But sometimes we get to a point in our life, and we dealing with so many other things, and our children misbehave, and we as parents, we just react. And our reaction might be something that they need to cause them to grow up, so to speak. And in this situation, I remember just like it happened yesterday. It was pouring down raining, and I was working night shift, 12 hours, and had been working a lot of 12 hours, and I was exhausted. And my not my current husband, but my previous husband was in the kitchen, and my oldest son and him was having a disagreement. And it's just something that just had been building up, and they've been going at it and going at it and going at it. Mind you, I'm working and working and working. So I'm not trying to hear that. I'm trying to get some sleep because I know I got to get up and go to work. And they just at it, at it, at it, at it. And all I could think is how disrespectful he was being to him. And something in me just snapped, and I told him, if you cannot humble yourself and be obedient, then you need to leave. And it was pouring down rain, mind you. And he left. I remember he got his bags and he left. And I was worried about him once he got gone, but I had already made my stance. Because I'm not a type of person that loves or like drama. I don't like it. I ain't gonna run from it, but I don't like it, period. I'd rather in my heart of hearts, I wish it was able to be resolved in a different way, but it is what it is. And for years, and he got okay, he made his way and he grew up. It forced him to grow up. Right. And years later, after he had his own kids, I found out that was still a problem for him. It still bothered him. So we had to come to terms with that, which we did, and we got a pretty decent relationship now. But at the time, you don't be thinking about all that. You just, whatever you got going on, you just trying to handle the situation and be done with it.
Right.
And I did what I thought was the right thing to do. And I don't live with regrets. I hate that it had to happen, but sometimes things happen that just happens. There's really no explanation or no logical way to put it. It just is what it is. Yeah. But we got past it. Is my point. And so I feel like if you can have that hard conversation and talk about things, then you can get past things. Right. I was wrong for telling him to leave at such a young age. He was 16. I was wrong for that. But at the end of the day, at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing, just to get the peace in the household. And so I'll say to you, if it's going to cost you your peace, then handle it. Like, you make the best decision for you. Because at that time, I made the best decision for me. So maybe that made me a little bit selfish. But I did what I thought was right. So exactly. So I advise you to, if it's just something that you just can't let go, find your peace. If you got to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and I need to move on for what's best for me, then do that. You allow that. And we all do what we have to do in our lives. So I'm sure if the situation was reversed, the shoes on the other feet, he probably would have did the same to me. If I'm disrespecting his household, he ain't no way he would have put up with that. So if he was the parent, and I'm sure he'll tell me that too. But like I said, he grew up and he got his own kids, and now he's getting a little bit of what he gave me. Come on.
The best part.
Yeah, so he messed around and found out. And it ain't easy as you thought it was gonna be. Cause we quick to say, well, I ain't gonna do that to my child. Yeah, okay.
Right. Let them rub you the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, you gonna find out too. Right. But yeah, You know, these conversations sometimes they can bring back some memories. I'm telling you. But you know, when you look back on stuff and you see some of the decisions that you made growing up, sometimes they be the right decisions, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you learn from those
Right.
decisions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, and then too, you have two other kids, coming up behind him.
Exactly.
So the mistake that you made with him, or the choices that you made with him, you were able to see that and make different choices. When it came to your other two children. So,
Right.
and it come with experience.
Yes. And that was one of the things I knew in the back of my mind. I can't allow him to carry on the way he was carrying on.
Right.
And then y'all there looking at it, well, you let him get away with it. Like, what example, is that to set if I allow him to do what he was doing and disrupt the household, and then y'all come along and get his age, because you wasn't but a year behind.
Yeah.
So it was like, what do you do? So I did what I thought was best.
Yeah. And we as parents has to be at a point that whether it was a good judgment call or a bad judgment call, we have to be all right with it. Because if we were in this day and time and raising them, a lot of the kids now, they think a lot different. And when you try to tell them to go chill out a minute, they don't. And then next thing tragedy take place. And we know that when males particularly dealing with each other, it's hard for them to back down from each other. That it's kind of hard for the young guy to grab a hold to that authority figure in his life, because he doesn't want to be told what to do. And so and we turn over and over and over in our head what we should have, would have, could have done, a different way or whatever. But mother's instincts do things, and it may not make no sense, but if it can bring peace to the home, if she can wake up and still see you sitting there, the next day or a few hours, it makes her feel like she's accomplished something. Okay, I had to do this, or say it like this right here, so you can get it, and it makes you feel good that you didn't just, nothing happened to you. Okay, he walks out all in the rain, but that was a choice he made. So in dealing with that situation, he had to own up to it. Because I had a situation kind of similar, and my child, I'll say get out plenty of time, because I was mad. You ain't gonna do what I say do, you need to get out. But this one particular time, that child heard me, and then they all of a sudden, oh, you putting me out? Oh, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna pack. Okay, well, you go ahead then. But what about the other times you didn't hear me? That was the time that I really meant get out. But you didn't move, and then you moved on this one when I really wasn't expecting, but it was kind of a figure of speech, and I knew it was hurtful throwing it out there, but at the same time, like, well, you pushing hell toward this way.
Right.
But children do stuff that it's a part of their growing up, trying to learn, to be on their own, and trying to deal with the part of that they ain't grown yet.
Right. That part.
And they gotta listen while they in that house, parents taking care of everything, But take some time. Take some time to yourself, Make sure you gotta make sure that you get wholeness in your body.
Right.
Set your mind free. So if it means stepping away from it because you're tired of dealing with it, come downstairs from your head. Come downstairs a little bit. Because like thoughts bring on like thoughts.
Yeah.
And and even if the person was caught in a lie or whatever, that doesn't mean that everything he's done or she's done that you should be thinking everything was a lie. You know, don't think like that, because once you stay upstairs in your head for a long time, you're gonna have like thoughts, and
Right.
I mean, you'll have a whole conversation with yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For
you did.
sure.
That yeah, I remember. I saw that. That it was a
Start
sock, a
seeing
different color
stuff.
sock in the car. Yeah, and then when I was looking at him, he turned his head around. Yeah, I saw him back through my rearview mirror. I was looking at him. Yeah, looking at her. What are you looking at her for? And then he gonna tell me I'm lying. That he didn't see, that I ain't seeing what I'm seeing. You know, and
Been
so
turned his whole neck
yeah,
around, looking back.
right. So you know your mind gonna play on him, you know, and all the whole time. Yeah, that nigga thought I was. Excuse me, y'all. That guy just thought he thought I didn't see him. He didn't thought she didn't think I saw, but I saw her. You know, and your thoughts will play stuff like that, you know, in your mind.
No, you ain't lying though.
And you'll run with it. You'll be insinuating things happening and things wasn't even happening.
Right.
You know, it's like it's crazy stuff. Control your thoughts.
Right.
If you don't ever learn to control your thoughts, man, I'm trying to tell you, that's a part of my everyday. I have to learn. I have to deal with controlling my thoughts, because my mind will take a trip.
Yeah.
All our minds take a trip.
And
if we let it.
and I'm gonna say one thing about this. Just satisfy your curiosity. Like, just ask. If something's bothering you, you know, just get it off your chest. Just ask. You know, like, you're gonna know, like, from the answer, you know, that you're given, you're gonna know if it's a direct answer. If you get an answer right off the bat, you gonna know.
Right.
You know, the person stuttering, taking forever, trying to sound like they trying to come up with something. Do you know? You know what it is?
I'm doing this right here. This is the giveaway right here.
Like, you know, when you know somebody for a certain amount of time, you kind of pick up on, you know, stuff that they do when they start fibbing and stuff like that. So, you know, you'll know. If you want to know, just ask, you know, and then, you know, if you have to start building a case from there, if that answer doesn't satisfy your curiosity, you know, and you got some proof, some breadcrumbs or something, then, you know, do what you got to do. But, you know, until then, you know, just chill.
Like, trust them till they give you a reason not to.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a life or death situation.
Exactly.
You know,
And we not perfect.
That's it. That part.
By
right
no
there.
means.
Right.
But we got another dear Jen on the same topic. Which is from a man, which is cool because I love it when we get ones from the men. Because, you know, they don't be like they be telling, they own everything, but it's them. They ain't do nothing. If they don't own it, then I did wrong. This guy is admitting.
Okay.
Dear Jen, I messed up. I broke the trust of the woman I love, and now I don't know if I'll ever get it back. I was cheating, and I lied about something important. And when she found out, it shattered her. I didn't lie to hurt her. I was afraid of how she would react. But now I realize hiding the truth hurt her even more, which is still telling a lie because you hear the truth. She says she doesn't know if she can ever trust me again. She's distant, guarded, and I can see the pain in her eyes every time she look at me. I apologized. I've promised to be honest moving forward, but I don't know what else to do. I don't want to lose her. I love her, and I hate that I've put us in this position. How do I show her that I'm serious about earning her trust back? Is there even a chance, or have I already lost her for good? A man who wants to fix this. That is beautiful.
Go ahead.
It is. Well, I would say take your time, take some time and deal with you And once you find out who you are and what your relationship is, then you start trying to build that trust with her. Because if you're doing a whole bunch of talking, trying to assure her what you ain't gonna do, and you're not working on yourself, you're just wasting a lot of your time, and you just got
Making
a lot
noise.
of talk, making noise. And that's not what you want to do. A lot of times women are hurt very seriously. Not that the men don't get hurt as well, but women are emotional creatures, and we'll turn a thing over and over in our head 1,000 times, you know. And one of the things that we try to figure out is why. Wasn't I good enough? Because they feel like they give you everything, they give you their all. And when you have been the woman that was helping that man through whatever he had going on, whether you were in a blended relationship, you helping him financial wise, helping him with his kids, or not, or just helping him period and being there, and you feel, and you saying you got you love him and he loves you, but he's not a faithful person, but he chooses not to tell you and let you walk around thinking that you the best thing in his life. So the deceit is so great. And when a woman finds out that the man have deceived her, it does a lot of shocking to her brains. And the thing is like I said, women give it, they give it they all. You got a good woman out here, and all she wants is you. She not trying to mess around with nobody. She wants you. She looking to build a life with you forever. And so the thing that you will have to do is, the way you got her, you're going to have to do that and more to prove to her that, not so much as you're sorry, because you've already said that. It's what are you willing to do to make her feel comfortable enough to say, well, she ain't got to worry about that. Or when, you're being intimate together, that she's not worried about having those thoughts of who you done been with. Because that stuff plays out a whole lot, in the woman's head. And you got to be very careful and move slow, because if you go, and you got to make sure that that's what you want to do. You want to work on it. If you ain't wanting to work on it that bad, it's best for you just go on about your business than for you to try to be put more deceitfulness on top of the one that you have already created. And that's what makes women go insane, and then other things happen. Pop off, and this thing somebody is hurt. And but if you can ever work on yourself and you ask God to help you and show you what to do, and you do everything. I'm not saying you gotta wait on the female hand and foot like that. It won't help. It won't hurt if you do that.
You need to,
but you don't want to put on no show. Be for real. If she say you gotta sleep on the couch for a year, that's what you do.
Sleep on
you
the
sleep
floor.
on the couch.
You ain't sleeping on the
You
couch.
know?
Sleep on the floor.
Show some mercy, sis. Show some mercy. Sleep on that couch till she ready. Let her get that out of her. Let her empty everything out of her. So don't sleep on the couch and you still slipping around. You sleep on that couch faithfully, because you the one who brought this into the home. You the one that was unfaithful. And just keep, showing your love. Be patient. Be patient. Pray together. Babe, I know. It ain't time yet, but I would love to pray with you. I love to do these things with you, and I'm willing to wait.
She gonna say you should have been praying for me. Should have been praying before it happened.
Yeah, she would, but those are her
But
emotions.
you can't
You know?
force her to forgive and forget.
Right.
You got to be transparent. You got to be consistent
Yeah.
and let her know that show her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do lip service. Show
Right.
her that
Sure.
you want her forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
And we shouldn't, as human, we shouldn't have to be doing a whole bunch of begging. Mean it from the heart.
Right.
You know, you ask for forgiveness, I accept the consequences. You know, but we shouldn't have to do all that big. Because when I go to my Heavenly Father and I ask Him for forgiveness, I don't want to feel like I'm going, to Him asking, begging Him, to forgive Him. I'm asking Him. He done already gave me scriptures on it. Said, confess my sins. He's faithful and just to forgive me, cleanse me from all unrighteousness. So when I deal with people, I have to let them deal with it how they deal with it. But I can still say, hey, ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry, But I still have to wait on them. But I'm not gonna be like every time I see them, will you forgive me? Please forgive me. Every time I see them, I'm keep right. No, that ain't finna happen.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm apologizing to you from the depths of my heart. I know I'm feeling, and you gotta forgiveness. It hurts to ask somebody for forgiveness.
It's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task, and you done that deed to somebody.
Right.
You hurting just like they are. One, you've been caught.
Right.
You done been found out about. So you definitely gonna be hurting just as much as they did. If you really love that person.
Right.
Now there's some people out there that won't do you right.
Right.
And so, but we gotta get in the habit as humans, gotta get in the habit of knowing the people that we're hooking up with.
That's where it starts.
Right.
Take some time out. Don't be in a hurry
Right.
to jump in a situation. Get to know that person.
Right.
And I know deep down you can never really
No.
1000% know a person, because anybody can do anything at any time, and people wear masks.
Yeah.
But for as much as you can, go a little bit deeper than the surface.
Right.
They might look good, but everything that look good on the outside ain't good on the inside.
Right.
Consult God.
Right.
He looks on the inside, and then you can't go wrong.
Right.
But and I say the fact that you're not deflecting and you taking accountability, that right there says something within itself. 'Cause
It does.
a lot of men be like, yeah, I did, so what? And just expect you to continue on like they ain't did nothing.
That's true.
No, you don't get that.
Right.
You betrayed a trust.
Right.
But I do believe some women are forgiven. She ain't gonna hardly forget it, but some women are forgiven, and you can come back from it.
You can. You can. come
Whether
back
she
from it.
choose to stay in that situation, that's on her. It ain't up to you, it's on her. That's her choice.
Right.
And what you gotta do to win that trust back is on her as well.
Exactly.
Because, you're asking us, but same stuff you asking us, that's the stuff you need to be asking her. What do you gotta do? What is it gonna take, for her, or for her to gain your trust back? So.
And if you feel like you done all that you can do to the point that you ain't willing to do anymore and go a little farther, then you got to make a decision,
Right.
because you can't force her to forgive you.
Right.
Because looking at it from a woman's perspective, or point of view, like Queen said, if she giving you everything of her and you turn around and betray her for whatever, and making her feel like she wasn't enough, like, look at it from her point of view. A lot of men go out here and they cheat on their significant other, and then when she find out, they like it ain't nothing. Like, there's no change behavior. They say I'm sorry. Some of them might even drop a tear or two, but there's no change behavior. They go out and do it again,
Right.
and she be the only one that don't know. Like,
Right.
do you know how devastating that is for a woman?
Yeah.
Do you even care?
Right.
Not you, sir, because I see that you care.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm talking to the ones that don't care. Like, it's nothing to them.
Right.
To sleep with this one, this one, this. We ain't even top the look a little deeper and go into the diseases and infections and putting her life in danger.
Right. Absolutely.
Putting your own life in danger.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like when do you supposed to grow up?
Right.
When do you supposed to mature?
Yeah.
Women love hard.
Right.
They, we give men everything that we got because we trying to make it. You know,
Right.
we really trying to make it. And if you got a woman that is willing to go, you know, go that journey with you, and even though may see that you have some flaws, but you know they stay. I'm trying to stay there with you and say I'm with you for the long haul. The least you can do is be respectful. You know, treat that lady right. You
Take
know,
care of her heart.
take care of her heart
Right.
because the next man that's coming, he got so many walls that she done built up. Especially if she had walls before you, and then you had to tear them down. Man, look how many walls that's went back up.
Right.
Double walls. She done nail about 4 or 5
Right.
panels on that wall. You know, because
Cement.
she don't want to get hurt again. Nobody can really break through because that heart, that when you do that to the heart, you know, it's so devastating, and you don't even really know how to receive it
Right.
because it's so devastating. It's just like the heart, you know, the heart beats, and your heart starting to feel like it's mushy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is fluttering and stuff. You know what I mean? Like not the good kind of fluttering,
Right.
like the love fluttering.
Right.
It's that like it's falling faint. You know, don't know what to do. You know,
Right.
it's devastating.
Right.
You know.
Like, is my breathing gonna remain steady?
Right, right. And women
That's a
women
different
are a
type
lot
of
of the
hurt.
ones to be so a lot of times be the one that's forgive the quickest too.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
and but don't take the women for granted, y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The men got to do better.
'Cause you gonna regret it.
Right. And if she trusting you with her heart, take care of it because what you do to her, the damage that you do to her, the next man gonna be complaining because he got to break those walls
Yeah,
down.
break them walls.
Which we know, you know, you probably don't care, but that she done put stone up, and then he got to chisel it all the way back down, and then he do the same thing to her. That's why a lot of women are giving up.
Right.
That's why they tired.
He's tired.
They done put in all the work, only for you to turn around and slap them in the face.
Yeah. Do that.
Was it even worth it?
Whether it
9
is-
times out of 10, it ain't.
Mhm.
So you just playing house. Like if you don't have intentions of building and growing with this person, don't bother.
No.
Right.
Let her go on about her business and do her.
Especially if you know that's what type of time she on,
Mhm.
right? And you know you're not on that same type of time.
Right.
Start
And let
being
her go
honest.
on.
Yes.
And find somebody that's on the same page that she
Right.
on, and you go find somebody on your page.
Yes.
You can avoid so much drama and headache, all because you going after somebody that don't want the same thing that you want.
Right. But check this out though. You sick, but you want her to be sick right there with you. You know,
Yep.
you'll drag her all the
Right.
way down because you need help
Right.
dealing with your own self. But you don't want to deal with it alone.
Right.
But you'll drag her right on in there and then leave her right there. And then you'll go and get somebody else.
and do the
And
same
all the
thing.
stuff that she was doing, busting herself, trying to do
Then
stuff,
give it to them.
and you,
Give them everything.
yeah,
Not giving her.
yeah, you start
Yeah.
working and if you know and doing everything.
Right.
Exactly.
You know that stuff. You'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Or you
You know?
drag her for years and years,
Years and years.
making her think that you're gonna eventually marry
and
her.
marry.
And
Mhm.
won't marry her,
Mhm.
and then turn right around, y'all break up, and you marry the next.
And
next
some
one,
of them you don't
just
even
like
break
that.
up. You just go and do it.
Right.
Like
You
that,
know?
that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But to the men that wanna fix it,
have
did it and made him. Well, I don't call it a mistake. I call it premeditated and intentional. But if y'all wanna excuse it as a mistake, if you wanna fix it, then put in the work, cause you're gonna have to work.
You
Yeah.
gotta work for it.
You're gonna have to put in so much work. But if you feel like if it's worth it in the end, and if you're gonna be true to her in the end, then put in the work. If you know within your heart of hearts that you're not gonna be true, don't bother.
Right.
Yeah.
Let that woman free so she can love again.
So she can love again.
So,
Mhm.
some of y'all fellas just don't know what to say sometimes. But we wish you luck, Mr.
Yes,
Man who wanna fix it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hope you are able to fix it.
Exactly.
So to answer your question, there is a chance if she wanted.
Right.
But if she decides she don't, then you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Let her,
Yeah.
let her, let her go.
Mhm.
Let her go.
And she
But-
might say that right now, you know.
Mhm.
She just might need some space, some time away,
Yeah. Right.
and then later on,
Mhm.
you know, you might still can do everything that you've been doing, but you know, she might just need that time apart for her to realize, okay, yeah, this is something that I do really
Right.
want, you know. So
Mhm.
I'm willing to be receptive to whatever, you know, he gotta do to get my trust back.
Right. But you gotta keep living though.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to keep living,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, in spite of.
Right.
But I want to ask y'all men something. Could you forgive and forget? Could you rebuild trust if it was she was on the other feet?
Right.
Could you? I think not.
But since I heard a man say, because they think that woman is totally theirs, and just a thought of another man done been there, that they ain't willing to go through keeping that relationship.
But he expects her to do
But
it.
he expects her.
Mm-hmm.
Double standard.
Always have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is
What make him think he's so
outrageous.
superior?
Right.
Beats me.
I mean, sex is sex.
Yeah.
No matter who do it.
Exactly.
You
You're going to get the same end results.
Right.
Exactly.
Regardless of who is with.
Who is with? Yeah.
So is it really worth it?
Right.
Throwing away everything that you done built with this woman that you say you love.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it away in an instant,
Yeah.
in a moment,
Mm-hmm.
for a squirrel.
Trash.
If he ain't got no money, if he got money, don't be leaving your money behind.
Right.
Because it's
Right.
definitely going to cost you now.
Right. Absolutely.
But there's some steps that we want to tell you how to rebuild that trust. Take accountability first, which sounds like what you're doing. No excuses.
Right.
Full ownership of your mistake. Understanding the root cause. Why did it happen?
Mm-hmm.
And have this conversation with her.
Right.
Actions over words. Trust is rebuilt through consistent behavior. Not consistent I'm sorry's.
Mm-hmm.
Show her. Put in that work. Different types of betrayal is lies, cheating, of course, broken promises. Oh, that's a big one too.
Yeah.
Keep saying you're gonna do something and you never do. And the lack of accountability. You got the clear boundaries and expectations, and one of the things you got to make sure you cut that other situation completely off, and I mean completely,
Yeah.
unless there's a child involved.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a child involved, that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But Can't be no phone calls, no friendship, none of that. Shut it down.
Right.
Shut it down and cut it off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how's she supposed to believe you? Anything
Right.
you say.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
patience and time. Because it's definitely going to take both.
Yes.
When it's time to walk away, the person who broke keeps making excuses. So if you keep making excuses and you are the one that's broken, and now you're trying to break her, you keep making excuses for what you done, they ain't gonna get you nowhere. You spinning your wheels. You feel constant anxiety, or she feel constant anxiety, thinking, worrying that you're gonna do it again. Checking your phone, where you been? You 5 minutes from your job. You get home 6 minutes. You won't know where you been, and it's an
Right.
argument. It's a
Right.
fight.
Stressful.
Yes,
I can't.
No.
there's no peace. All resentment. Then y'all sitting down on the couch and supposed to be watching TV, and she looking at you side eye.
Especially if you watching that
decide.
movie.
Yeah.
Something similar to what's in
Right.
your
Right.
mind.
Situation. Oh, yeah.
Stay off of Tubi. Don't watch
Yeah,
no
don't
Tubi.
watch
Right.
Y'all get to arguing about it. See that? That's what I'm talking about.
What's that other one? Lifetime? Don't watch
Yeah.
that stuff. No. When you get
All
strong.
that. Exactly. But we wish everybody that's in the process of working on whatever relationship you got going on, put in the work. Because at the end of the day, it's worth it. But if you feel like you're not getting nowhere after you done had that conversation with whoever it is, then respect their boundaries. Respect the fact that they just don't want to go through it anymore.
Right.
Because once you throw it away, you make her feel like she wasn't enough and she done put in all that work with you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Yeah. That's right.
Cause, I ain't trying to feel it. But, you know, it's worth it. It's worth trying. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
So, good luck. Be blessed.
And then one thing, too, that no matter who the party is, that it happened to, the other party, needs to make sure that they not, blocking for the other party because, something happened, in the relationship. We gotta sometimes, most of the time it may be the guy, he go out and he'll get him somebody. If you decide you didn't want to work that out, don't try to hold him,
Right.
and keep him from going and getting with somebody else.
Right.
If you clearly made up your mind that you no longer want to be a part of his life, let him go live his life,
Yeah.
because, and hope that he learned something from it with the next person.
Right.
But don't get out there and just, try to, beat him down because he was a good somebody when you were together.
When you thought he wasn't cheating.
When you thought he wasn't cheating, But if he still got those good qualities, don't beat him down because, he had a little some infidelity going on. Because if he was still taking care of other stuff, he still or she still is a good woman. They just had some character flaws that happened, in their life, and it don't always mean that they, intended for it to happen that way. But however they happened, it was a line that they crossed. But let's not beat the other person down trying to keep them from being able to, get involved with somebody.
Right.
And especially since, we coming up on Valentine's Day on this tomorrow, and so let's be good to, our partners, not just our partners, but, with our family members. Let's,
Right.
hey, y'all, happy Valentine's Day, cheer them up because everybody, your sisters and brothers, all of them ain't they don't have a significant other,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's just good that be able to just say and share the love.
Right.
Because love, if you think about it, love fills the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's a day that's set aside of love. Love fills the air. But I will tell you this: love can conquer all things if you let it.
Yeah.
If you want it,
Mm-hmm.
love can conquer.
But yeah, I'm gonna say this, and I really didn't want to say nothing on top of that, because at the end of the day, it's all love. But the best way for you to beat him or her after they done betrayed you, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sis said, don't beat down on, talk down on, whatever. Let them go. Love them enough to let them go and live their best life while you go live your best life. Let go all the bitterness and hurt and anger. And it's going to take you some
Forgive
time.
them. Yeah.
And forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
That's your best bet.
Yeah.
So we hope y'all do have a great Valentine's Day. Find somebody to look at and smile and say Happy Valentine's. Because you might be the only Valentine's Day you get.
Right. Right.
You just saying that with a smile.
With a smile.
Make them feel good.
Right. Absolutely.
And if you can't find nobody to say it to, look in the mirror and say it to yourself.
Right.
Happy
Absolutely.
Valentine's Day, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hug
Look at you.
yourself.
Look at
Show
you,
yourself
girl.
some
You got it
love.
going on. Mm-hmm.
No, we ain't promoting showing love just on one day.
Right.
Every day
Right.
should be a
Every
love
day
day.
should be a love day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Every day, because God is love.
Yes.
And we hope y'all got something out of this night's episode. We know we sure did.
Mhm.
I always do.
Always do.
You can follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at Check That Post Podcast. And like and subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know every time we upload a new episode. You can write a Dear Jen letter to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. Keep them letters coming.
Thank y'all.